wild thing to do that. That's a fish too. You're trying to understand. Oh, I'm sorry. So cute. Nature is so crazy right here right now. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. What is it? I know, it's so crazy. They don't even have a place to run back.
Everyone, welcome to the Monterey Bay Aquarium's Open Sea exhibit. My name is Dan, I'm a naturalist here at the aquarium. I'm currently standing on the left side of our Open Sea exhibit window. And in just a few moments, we will begin our feeding. But before we do that, I need to let you all know what you're looking at. This is the biggest exhibit here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. It's a little over 1 million gallons of seawater. Does anybody have one of these at home by any chance? 1 million gallons of seawater. It's a lot of work, so I can see why you would leave it up to us to make this exhibit happen for you. And folks, literally, if I took you on a 4, 5, 6 hour boat ride out into the open Pacific Ocean, this is what you're going to see out there. And I'm going to refer to our TV monitors on the left and right side of our window here periodically. That open ocean water, very clear, or it tends to have a blue, grayish appearance. So if you look at the animals that are swimming around in this environment, or even in this exhibit, they tend to have the silvers, the blues, kind of those grayish colors, the grayish tones. That is so they can blend in with their environment. They do not have rocks or seaweed to hide behind. They need to make their own camouflage. They also need to be able to survive in this environment, which at times can be very hard. To find food, it's very difficult, so you need to either be streamlined so that you are hydrodynamically efficient. You can slide through the water easier, like our big tuna that are swimming around there in the center. Those are bluefin and yellowfin tuna. And I'll talk about the different species of animals we have here periodically throughout our feeding. Now this is what it looks like up top. We do have a third floor to our exhibit. And again, I'm going to refer to our TV monitors here. It looks like a big swimming pool when you're up at the top there. And there's literally almost like a racetrack around the outside. We do have staff up above standing by. One of our staff members, Patrick, is up there. Let's check in with him and see what we've got going on for our feeding today. Patrick, you up there?
I'm up here, Dan. Can you hear me downstairs just fine?
We can hear you. You look good, too. How's it going?
Oh, it's really good. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being down there with Dan. Yeah, my name is Patrick. I'm up here on top of the open sea. And as you can see, we got some staff that are standing right behind me over here, waiting for the feeding to happen. Today, we're going to be feeding some of the faster fish. So we're going to be feeding some tuna, some of the dolphin fish in there. The faster fish are going to be getting their food. And that's going to be about 80 pounds of food going in. There's going to be some squid, some chopped up sardine in there, so lots of food going in. Then after that feeding, we're going to throw in more food for the sardines we have in the exhibit. But you might see a few animals during the feeding, like the pelagic stingray or the hammerhead sharks. They might swim by. They're not going to be getting their food right now. We have to feed them in a different style than just throwing in the food. And Dan, actually, why don't you show us what it looks like if you feed the pelagic ray or one of the sharks?
Will do. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, so for our stingrays, or pelagic stingrays, we actually use something called a targeted feeding. So again, refer to our TV monitors here. This might happen this afternoon at about 3 o'clock. So if you're still in the area, definitely come over and check that out. So you can see our pelagic stingrays upside down, and they're trained to come to a board with a red X on it. They know that when that red X is in the water, that means food. And food tends to be salmon, it could be squid. You can see our staff person there is basically leaning over and hand feeding, almost like a room service for some of our animals here. You can see Ann there is our staff member, and she's literally reaching out and hand feeding our pelagic ray. Now the feeding you're going to see today is going to be a little bit different, so let's check back in with Patrick and see if they're about ready to do that big feeding for the majority of the animals here in this exhibit. Patrick, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing good up here. I think we're just about ready. So behind me we've got Chris and David. And Chris and David, whenever you feel like it, go ahead and throw in food, and we should be able to see that hit the water, folks. So if you just take a look, you should see the first animal go in right now. And Dan, looks like we're getting ready with the feeding, so take it away.
Hey, thanks, Pat. You know, if you could just let me know what kinds of foods are coming down in the future, that would be awesome, man. So let's check it out, folks, to see what's going on here. Thanks, Patrick.
You're welcome. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
So it looks like we've started with the squid, folks, and this is frozen squid. This is caught here locally, and then we thaw it out for our animals. It's like we might have some, the cubes that are coming down right now, those are vitamin gel cubes. Basically, we need to provide our animals with everything that they could possibly get out there in the ocean. So if you take a multivitamin every day, that's kind of what it is for our animals as well. Our sardines have come up into the water column there. They aren't ready for their food yet. They must be pretty hungry though. They're getting ready. They're staying up there at the top. Now they are risking themselves a little bit here. They want to make sure that they are out of the way of those bigger fish because they may end up on the menu today. It does happen from time to time. So we'll keep an eye on our sardines. They'll probably go back down here in just a moment. Now the main animals that are feeding right now at the very top. Let's start with the animals that are literally changing color on you before your eyes, folks. Those mahi-mahi are turning yellow right before your eyes. Right at the very top there, the long triangular-shaped fish with what looks to be a boomerang for their tail. Now there's two other names for that animal, dolphin fish and dorado, depending on where you're from here in the United States. Those are the three different terms that we call that fish. I'm actually going to refer to them as the mahi-mahi. And the changing of the color, those beautiful yellows and greens and blues, they do that when they get excited. So you'll definitely see that when they're feeding and when they're looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they'll change those colors as well. Now the big swimming footballs that are going through the center there, those are bluefin and yellowfin tuna. Very hard to tell those two species apart. If we had them full grown, side by side, it'd be a little bit easier. Bluefin tuna can be almost 1,000 pounds when they're full grown, folks. Yellowfin tuna, about 400 pounds. So there's definitely a size difference, but when they're younger, very hard to tell those two species apart. Now I want you to watch those tuna as they're going through the center there. They literally will throw up fins off of their body that they have nicely tucked in grooves and slots, so that they can become very hydrodynamic when they're putting on bursts of speed. But as they turn away from the window, they put up these fins that are on their back. It's almost like an air brake or a water brake so they can slow down before they get to that window. These tuna, after millions of years, are perfectly adapted for their water environment. Folks, they can put on bursts of speed of up to 55 miles per hour. I believe some of you probably came here today at the aquarium in your vehicle doing at least 55 miles per hour. The really cool thing for me about these tuna is that most people here in the United States see tuna in a can. They've never seen the live animal before. Aren't they beautiful? So streamlined, again, for that water environment that they are perfectly adapted for living in. And the thing with bluefin tuna, folks, if you like sushi, tuna is on the menu for sushi, especially the bluefin tuna. And I'm going to refer to my TV monitors here for just a moment. Folks, it's estimated that we fish 90% of our large bluefin tuna out of the oceans for that sushi. So you can help us all today, starting with your lunch. by avoiding bluefin tuna for your sushi. Now I have something called the Seafood Watch Pocket Guide, or it's the program. I have pocket guides over here. I have a sushi guide, believe it or not, and I have a West Coast Seafood Watch Pocket Guide as well. So you can get one of those for me after our program, or we have a free application, folks. If you go to our website, download the application for your iPhone or your Android, you can save some trees while you're at it. You'll get even more information from the application to